Well, figured I'd come on here and we'd have a little church for Hanukkah Eve and just congregate and talk, have a good time. Nobody's in here just yet, but we just had somebody enter. And like I say, I just want to congregate and have a good time here on the Sabbath, the day that we should be spending together, the eve of Hanukkah, and all the things we're expecting for. And so excited. And I just want to be with you guys. This is church for me. Who's in here? I know my internet's been choppy all day, so I hope it's doing okay right now. They got on to me last night or yesterday and said whenever I do my lives, I need to read the question before I answer it. Hey, what's up, Carter? Lithium, Kim, what's going on? Welcome, amen. I'm glad to have you guys in here tonight. Like I say, I've just been thinking so much. I can't think about anything else. I don't know about you guys, but it's all I have on my mind. Hello from Arkansas, right here. Hello, Kim. Thank you for coming. God's kid, you made it on time today, didn't you? Like I say, it's the Sabbath, and I think it's the best time to spend together right here before Hanukkah. I've got a real big cheerleading week coming on, and I've got to prepare, right? Got to keep the family excited, the bride going. And all of us have our jobs. That's one of mine, is to just keep the excitement going, and just realize that just because one guy's prediction didn't come true and another guy's, they're just men. They're just men. Jesus is close. I'm talking about around the corner. And we can all feel it in our spirits. That's mine too. Lithium said, my three favorite things are Jesus, the rapture, and the Bible. That's right. And I enjoy all of them. I enjoy all of them. I love the spiritual experiences that people have too. Hearing about the dreams and visions and visitations, it just adds more excitement. Because I had a teacher once ask me, or he said something about inspiration, the Bible being inspired. I said, well, when did man stop being inspired by God? They didn't. The Bible kept going. It's just we're living it. We're not reading it. We're living it. And when those guys from the past were looking into the future, hey Chris, glad to have you in here. Glad to have everyone in here. Thank you so much for coming. Like I say, here on the Sabbath day, we're gonna just talk a little bit. Maybe get some rapture talk in. Maybe get a little anybody having any experiences or dreams or confirmations. I mean, that's always fun to hear. Uh, like I say, guys, I'm excited for what's coming, and it just feels days away. That's right. All right. So we'll see. What Santa? What's up, baby cakes? Wendy. Well, glad to have you in here. You know, we do a lot of rapture talking, and we're talking about all the convergences coming together, and we talk about Jesus, and we talk about all kinds of things in here, and we just have normal, regular talks. Yes, this could be the best Christmas ever. I tell you. I tell you. I'm looking for greatness. I tell you, I'm thinking Jesus will be here within this Hanukkah season, and this Hanukkah time, this festival. It's a festival of dedication, and you understand when the Maccabees were fighting to get the temple back, or in the Maccabees when they were fighting to get the temple back, uh, they were fighting during the Feast of Tabernacles. So they rededicated the temple and called that delayed Sukkot, which meant their Feast of Tabernacles. So that's where it comes from, and it's an exciting time, guys. But who's ready for Jesus, huh? Who's ready to look him face to face? You know, just hoping I'm worthy to be in His presence. And I don't know. It's amazing to think that we're in this time. We're in the last days. You look at it. You look at the AI that we have is not the AI that they have. Elon Musk was calling for him to stop in like 2018. Hold up, guys. We need to stop. We need to pause for a second. Nobody paused. They had to keep going because other countries were going. So the version that we have is just the public version. You know, we only have the public version. They already know what they've got. They're not going to tell us, and it's all going to come together all at once. And God's not about to leave us here with AI. David, the movie. Uh, I figure, do I eat powdered uh, laundry detergent was a good indicator to allow Carl to go ahead and be raptured up out of this room, right? How about that? You guys watched the video today or video yesterday? I had a good video out, and of course, I did it through a different format. I did it on YouTube instead of loading it onto YouTube. So it's taking a while more to take off, but it was to help those that are being attacked right now by family members and co-workers and just whoever. How powerful am I? Well, if I actually could tap into my true power, without Jesus, I have no power. So I'm as powerful as God will let me be. What's up, Kenny? Got my prayers, brother. Got my prayers. We'll pray right now for Robert Horton. I pray. I pray for you, buddy. We haven't got long, guys. Which we've been waiting for. This whole thing, this thing that we've been waiting to come to a head. The baby about to be born. It's about to be. You know, the convergence of things, of the way that true, true. Lithium Kid says we are all sinners washed in the blood. Of course, you know, but not all are washed in the blood. You have to accept Jesus to be washed in that blood. I've got a way to show you the path from sin. Yeah, it is. It is. And there's a lot of trolls on here. They just come in the room to say off the wall things. We get rid of them fast as they talk. Who broke? You broke your foot. So when did you break your foot, Chris? I came on here because I've had several people tell me that they were having a hard time today, and some you know I was having a hard time day before yesterday. I'll be honest with you. Just I woke up in one of those moods, and everything how you do. Everything seems bad instead of good. and a good shower and good meal and whatever else, feeling better. And guys, sometimes it's all it takes. You just need to, and honestly, I'm ready for a rapture break. I'm ready to be in the rapture so that I can have a break from looking for the rapture. You know, it's been a tiring season, has it not, guys? It will. This way of life will end soon. It will. Robert, do you know Jesus? Because if you know the Jesus I know, He made you worthy. He made you worthy. If you're not worthy, then what Jesus did is worthless. He made you worthy, so accept being worthy. Quit being, don't be that lowly one. Then Robert, you're worthy, sir. God, quit. You were made worthy, and if you say you're not worthy, or you keep coming back going, I'm, crawling on your hands and knees, saying I'm not worthy, Lord. He made you worthy. Stand up on your feet and talk to him. We all fell short of the glory of God, and we're not the only ones. Everyone before Jesus fell short. He's the only one that didn't fall short. Yeah, well, we got a new season coming up, and I got a good feeling about the end of this season. Been saying it for a while. Been saying it for a few months, and I'm here to tell you that if you want to know what I truly believe, it, just off of my own experiences, not off of everybody else's, the convergence of things are just happening at the same time. I had been saying this season for 10 years. Hanukkah starts tomorrow here. Of course, they all talk about time zones, and they try to narrow me down to what time zone do you think? The time zone Jesus comes in, that's what time. I don't know. Neither anybody else. That's right. Thank you so much. Guys, he's coming, whether they want him to or not, whether they're ready or not, he's coming. And he's going to gather us to him. It's not the same as the second coming. Yeah, you want to look at the convergence of things. You guys want to talk about everything that's coming together? I'll be glad to talk about it for a second. Not only do we have the end of the equinox coming, which is the end of the season. An equinox is a season, and God created the equinoxes. And we talk calendars all day long, but a season is a season. God made them. They're 91 days long, piece, roundabout. And this is the fall equinox. Now, when I was told 10 years ago, and I had the prophet Elijah come to me, and I was wide awake for it, to tell me that we had 10 years left, we were in the fall equinox. So I assumed it to be 10 years from that moment, which would put us in the correct equinox this year, right now. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry if I'm just running my mouth. So, hello to everybody. Waverly, thank you for coming. Uh, uh, like I say, the the equinox. 10 years ago. This is just how I took it. And now here we are. And had of not everyone else could come out with what they're saying already, yeah, what you're going through will pass. You know, it always does, don't it, guys? Somehow don't we always get taken care of? We sit here, we say, how bad things are, whatever. But somehow we always get taken care of, and we always have. And so we worry too much. You know, worry is that's why he says that. What good does it do you to worry? What kind of man denies God to another man? An ungodly man. That's the answer. Nemo asked that. What kind of man denies God to another man? And that's an ungodly man. Lithium, can you explain the two witnesses? Seems different. Okay. Here's the two witnesses. It's Joshua and Zerubbabel. Joshua and Zerubbabel. And let me explain that to you. Joshua and Zerubbabel were the two anointed ones. Zerubbabel was the governor of Judah. Joshua was the high priest of the temple. They were brought back, and they were the two anointed ones of all the earth to build the second temple. And they brought back the whole remnant with them. And if you read Haggai and Zechariah, you learn very whole lot about them as it's talking about the anointed ones. Okay? They're the two olive trees, the two lampstands, the two branches that you read about. One man stand on this side of the river and one on the other side of the river. And the man that hovers over the waters. The two men stand on each side of the river were Joshua and Zerubbabel. Now, uh, and my point in saying this is, uh, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. I don't. How do I say who sent me that? I'll say it. Uh, I'm not good at this. Thank you for the high five. That's what I needed. That's right. Midnight sent me a high five. Awesome. So, anyway, the reason why they are the two witnesses who witnessed while the third false temple is being built is because they were the two who built the second temple. And Joshua was the high priest of that temple for around about 40 years, and it kept going through his bloodline. Okay. Zerubbabel actually was here and was no more. That's another one of those cases. So when people talk about Elijah and Moses or Enoch and Elijah, they just assume that these men were taken here from the flesh and they weren't, that's the reason why they would come back because they haven't had a chance to die yet. They were not in the presence of God in the flesh. They were removed of that when they got there. You got to understand. And Elijah does have a huge part in this end time. I know about it. Okay. But as far as the two witnesses that prophesied during the time of the third temple, it will be the builders of the second temple, Joshua and Zerubbabel, and they bring back the whole remnant. So it's going to be two groups of people who prophesy all over the world, and they'll be hated. It's going to be more than two people with this power. You understand? It's going to be two groups of people. They're going to be hated until the 1,260 days are complete. But that's why I know who they are. Oh, thank you so much, Midnight. Appreciate you guys. It's awesome. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. You sent me a super gift, or I'm new at this, so guys, forgive me if I don't say it right. But Midnight has sent me a couple items, and I thumbs up, all kinds of stuff. I appreciate it. But if that's why you want to understand who the two witnesses are, there's an understanding. That's easier than just saying, "Oh, I think it's going to be them because they." And Moses didn't. Moses died. So where do they put Moses in on that? Well, they think because there's going to be plagues. That somebody said here recently. I'm gonna read this. Hold up. Before I finish, don't let me forget what I was talking about. What do you think about Moses rolling into anything? I think Moses has done his job. Now, I don't think that he doesn't have a role in the end because a lot of them do. But when we were talking about particular two witnesses and the remnant that's coming back with them, they're already here actually, but they'll find out who they are soon enough if they don't already know. So there's your explanation of why the two witnesses are the two witnesses. Isn't that way better than just going, I think it's going to be some guy that I was raptured out of the Bible, or some other guy, or maybe it was Moses because he did his thing. It says they will be given the power to do these things. They will be given the power to do these things, not they previously had the power to do these things. But Revelation is clear when it says they will be given, the two witnesses will be given the power to do these things. So all that they already must have already had to. That's just thinking like in a small man's mind, right? So did I explain the witness as well? You know, that doesn't leave any holes, guys. You'll notice throughout Christianity they leave holes. I'm here to answer them. Ask me any question. God will give me the answer. He always said he would. He would put the right words in your mouth. And he does. Me too. And, it's one thing to, uh, when they say that number, it sounds small until you find out you're one of them, right? It's like, wow, there's a whole lot of people on earth. And then you find out you're one of them and you're like, so was it in the vision? You want to know my vision? Lithium kids? I believe at midnight. I believe it wholeheartedly. I knew that I would eventually run into people that were the 100, more of us. And obviously, not enough of us are online or whatever, but everybody's doing their job right now. Thank you for all the nice uh, signs that are coming up, guys. Thank you so much. Makes me feel good. Thank you. Thank you. See? And it's because, look, there's always been a group that was going to come that had the answers, that could answer the questions. But by the time that we got here, everybody's done heard so many different things. They seem to have no questions to ask, you know. And I'm here ready to answer anything but where God come from. Some things you're just gonna have to find out when you get there, right? But you know, uh, I can feel it. I feel a certain energy with this group that I know that certain people were going to come forward. That's why when Joshua came forth, and you got to think, man, for Christ said he felt the spirit of Zerubbabel on him, and Joshua came through and said that about the Feast of Trumpets. That's why I still can't count it out because they used correct names. Do you understand that? You look at it from a standpoint of knowing and then see them using correct names. I knew more would step forward saying that they were Joshua and Zerubbabel because I know how many the number is. There's 4,000 of us out of the 144,000. Okay, that it's the whole remnant is the 144,000, and everyone who the great multitude that's talked about heaven, of which no man could count. It's everybody who listens. So not only are the 144 covered, but there's people that we've talked to along the way. I don't know. I've hit a certain number. You guys have hit a certain number. You know that you talk to people in your life and work and your family. And so you reach some people and some people you don't. I tell people all the time, don't let no one steal your crown. But, we're we're kind of radical compared to your normal churchgoer, right? I mean, basically, that's what they would call us. Yeah, it's why. You know why? Because you seek, you seek, and because you seek, God gives you the answers. You got to think of how many people are so wrapped up in the world about it. They want that new Toyota. They want that two-story home over in a nice neighborhood. By school, they're thinking about normal things. This is too much for them. I don't want to think about the rapture. When I will have to say, it does take up a lot of my mind, right? And it's because I want to be with Jesus so bad, guys. And there's nothing else that matters. I don't want all these great things. Yes, we got a reward in heaven coming. We've got a reward, and he's coming to get us with his reward. Okay, but that's the point. Yeah, all this, when we say rapture, it's avoiding wrath. Okay, we could have avoided wrath by, say, boat like Noah did, or by how Lot was told to go, get out of here. But this one's different. He went to prepare a place for him and for us, that where he was, we would be also. Okay? So this time, when we avoid wrath, we're face to face with the Master. Face to face with the Creator. I've got chill bumps from, oh, I wish you could, these tattoos hide my chill bumps because I could feel my hair standing up. I tell you, he says, in my father's house are many mansions. You just wouldn't believe. It's gonna be so awesome. It's gonna be so awesome. Nothing to worry. Leave your doors unlocked. You know, everybody's invited. Can you imagine that? Everybody's invited. Never tired. Never out of place. Never feel bad because someone's walking up. No more tears. No more sorrows. No more death. Just absolute enjoying your master and what he's created for you. I can't think of anything better, guys. I can't think of anything better. And we're talking not just, I wish I could give you what's in my mind because I see Jesus on the horizon. We're here at that moment, you know. And whether he makes me wrong and comes back the day after, I don't care. It's just one more day. It's just one more day. I'm not worried about it. I've waited 49 years. Well, let's just say 43 of those years I've been waiting on him because I became aware of him when I was 6. You know, I knew I had to do something to receive him. And I saw it at 6 years old. Guys, I used to set my stuffed animals up in my room and get the Bible and make me a podium. And I would just take the Bible and go, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And I would wait for my stuffed animals to clap. You know, they were my, I was doing out when others were doing, I was playing church. You know, I wanted to be a pastor, a preacher then. That's right. There is no other name except through Jesus Christ. He is the door. There will be those that get in there, obviously, through trying to come over the fence through the back door, and they'll be thrown out where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Hopefully, I'll unfreeze. Okay, yeah. But there is no way by which another man may enter the kingdom of heaven. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Waverly. I don't know how to do this. Thank you so much. But as I was saying, I like just not stop calling me back to back, messing me up. Uh, but anyway, so what I was saying was, is but there is no other way. If you enter in another way, you will be thrown out. So these people that talk about this astral projections and they go places and they're trying to get in. Said there's no other way by which a man can enter. Oh well, yeah, I might not have to send him a text, tell him I'll call him back. But as I was saying, guys, and that there will be ways where people enter into heaven in other directions, but they will not stay very long because judgment's coming. And like I said, the reason why you know they'll enter in different ways is Jesus said, "Hey, there's going to be people getting the banquet that not have the right attire on." Okay, yeah, we're just here. We're just here. We're just here for a short time, guys. We weren't ever meant to. Somehow we agreed to come here or something. Somehow we said it would be easy. Lord, I'll never let you down. And all you have to do is erase our memories and we'll let him down. You know. Uh, oh wow! Thank you so much, guys. I love you guys. I'm it's so unexpected. This like my last live I did is the first time I've ever received anything. You know, I didn't. I appreciate it so much. I'm so humble. Thank you. But like I was saying, was they get in the banquet and he calls them friend. Friend, how did you get in here? Midnight, thank you so much for that. Midnight gave me $10 if anybody knows, and or gave me a gift. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I really appreciate that. It helps me out so much. Uh, but he says, friend, how did you get in here? They don't even know, but they didn't come in through the door, and Jesus is that door. So that's the way it'll be. And as long as the man admits from his mouth and his heart that Jesus Christ is Lord, that he came here and that we admit to being a sinner, and that we have to admit that we have the problem. First thing is to admit. That's becoming aware. Hey, wait a minute. Okay. And then we correct it by accepting Jesus Christ and what he did. He was born of a virgin and he walked this earth in a perfect way. He never was separated from the Father. That's what sin means, is separation from the Father. Jesus was never separated from the Father. So he was never a sinner. So, yes, he could be a more normal person than you think. As long as he was never separated from the Father, he was never a sinner. And once we realize that what he done for us, then you're washed with the blood of Jesus and welcome into the kingdom, okay? Guys, it's admitting and telling him, you are my Lord, and I will follow you. I will follow you. And sometimes it's painful, guys. It's painful. It's hard to pick that cross up. But when he says help carry the cross, do you know that every time that you say, okay, Lord, I'll follow you, you carry your own cross and take the weight off of him of your cross. Now you carry the cross. Guys, I love you guys. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say, but like I say, that's the time when you carry your cross. I appreciate midnight. Thank you so much. And now his cross isn't so heavy anymore. And then you help him bear it by bringing others and showing them. Yes, I did. I understand who the 144 are, and Elijah told me why. Now, I'll tell you this story, guys, but you understand this is a personal story that I'm going to give you. Uh, so I never expected to have to say it. So that, will I shave? No, I won't. You said, no, I love my beard. What's wrong with my beard? But anyway, actually, my wife, I could shave. My wife would have me shave it. My wife can't. She would leave me if I shaved this beard. Yeah, religious people are. Listen, you want to go. For example, you can go to a church, and somehow, some way, they end up hurting you before it's over. Right? We know that. We've all been. You've been through it, or you've been. People get hurt, and they think it's Christ. It's not Christ. It's just the wrong people in the positions, guys. It's not Christ. Christ didn't do anything to you. He did you a favor by showing you what they were about. Christ is out here. What we're doing right now is in the streets. We're on YouTube, but this is the streets compared to church, right? We're just normal people talking. Your average Joe. Thank you, ZZ Top. I've been called that a lot. Oh, yeah, I've been, what, ZZ Top? Let me think who else. Well, for the longest, I mean, not colored right, but I kept getting called Chris Stapleton, and when we were in, of course, he's like had a darker beard than I do, but I kept getting called that when I was in Florida, and I didn't even know who that was, you know. But I found out he's the one that sings Tennessee whiskey, and he sings it really good too, huh, guys? But he sings gospel too, you know. But I'm a rocker, guys, and a lot of times you see me in a rocker shirt because I don't have to be anything but me with God. What I look when you realize what Jesus did for you, and I mean, look, I want you to pay attention to this. Oh, but somebody asked me about the 144, so let's get back to that before I get off track. Who asked me about the 144? I'm gonna get off track because I get to reading everybody's stuff. Okay, somebody asked me the question about the 144 and what I was told about. Do you want to know what Elijah told me about the 144 and why they are who they are? There is no love like that. He patched your relationship up with the Father. We were separated from the Father Creator at the garden. We were separated from him. We used to be with him. All right, here we go with 144. This is what Elijah told me. He said that we've been here before. And of course, we know that we're in the second earth age. When Jesus comes, steps foot on earth, that'll be the third earth age. We're in the second, and there was a first one. And we were here in the first one. Here we are in the flesh in the second one. And the third one is to come. Okay? So, but what he said is that the first time we came here every time that we've come here since, God helps us find him. Because the first time, he didn't help nobody find him. We were free to go. And a number found him. They found him and they seeked him and they found him anyway. And that number is 144,000. So they're your prophets that come back down. Nah, Elijah keeps emerging. John the Baptist to this. Okay. They're your prophets and wise men that have come to all peoples and nations. Not just to Jews. Not just everybody counts throughout time. And they've all been treated the same way, mostly. Everybody counts everybody's prophets out. Everybody says, we 144,000 prophets and wise men. Our Bible accounts for 500. Think about it, okay? And every time they come after that, God helps them find them because they were the ones who found him the first time on their own. That's what Elijah told me. I believe it if you want, but that's true. It's, no, I'm just here to tell you that if you want to hear, do you want to know what the true Israel was, guys? Do you want to know what the true Israel land was? I've got secrets in me. I don't mention them a whole lot. I thought 144,000 were 12,000 tribes of Jews. Let me explain that to you. I'll show you real quick how that's not true. And that's been said many times, and I always have to show. Let me find my Bible real quick so I can show you. You see this? 144 sealed from every tribe of the Israelites. 12,000 are sealed from the tribe of Judah. That's the Jews. There are only 12,000 of the 144,000. There are 11 other tribes, all different names. It's not 144,000 from the tribe of Judah. It's 12,000 from the tribe of Judah. Is that clear? Could you see it? Did you see it in the Bible? Do I need to show you again? And where they come from is Jacob had 12 children. Jacob was Israel. He had 12 children, which made up Israel. And that's all their different names. And he had them by different wives. So they were different looking people. Oh, was it upside down? Well, I'm sorry. So 12,000 of the 144,000 are Jews. All right, let me flip it back around. I didn't mean to have it upside down, guys. I'm slow. And I just can flip through it and find this stuff. But let me go back to, I don't even know where I was at. I'll find it again. Here we go. Is that upside down for you? 12,000 sealed from the tribe of Judah. If it's backwards, I don't know how to flip it around, guys. So That to clear that up, no, it's not 144,000 Jews. It will be 12,000 Jews. But there's the tribe of Dan, the tribe of Isaac, Issachar, the tribe of Benjamin, the tribe. Then you just keep going. The tribe of Dan, Manasseh. Oh, let me find it again, guys. I can just flip right to this stuff sometimes, so I'll tell you exactly where you go to look, so you can see it for yourself. Revelation chapter 7 starts at verse 4. Revelation chapter 7, verse 4. These people say these things, guys. They say all these things that are untrue. I know the Bible well. I have people tell me, why don't you go read your Bible? I know the Bible well. I've got every different version, and I try to read a new version every once in a while so that I can try to get a new take. Maybe it said a little different, you know. None of them. Bible's not written like when they say King James version. The old King James version is the best version. I disagree. You know why? Because I don't read like they say as thou. Then that messes me up. Okay, so they all come from the same thing. They're all being translated from the Greek and the Hebrew. Your Old Testament is Hebrew. Your New Testament's Greek, and it gets read in Latin. I think it was maybe translated in Latin first, and there were the Catholic Church is involved. I like listen. NLT is good. I'll be honest with you. Where I got my start of all my spiritual was the NIV, and I carried that NIV to one day I was holding it over, reading it in the dark. I had a candle, and I burnt my Bible. That was my favorite Bible. I would have kept it forever. You know, it had all my markings and what really sparked all the spiritual stuff for me. One night, I was at a party. I was at a party and was with another guy, and I looked a lot younger then, and he looked about like me. And we were talking about Revelation, and I said, "Why don't we just read Revelation? It's not that long." So we sat there for hours reading Revelation while other people were partying. Okay, and we were trying to envision what John was seeing. And when I left there, I was different, and my life changed forever. Not only I read the revelation, John's revelation of Jesus Christ, but what happened was that I started having revelation and realized that it's not something you just read, you start to have. And the things that were promised in this book, I was starting to be given. So when you look at the churches, at the end of each church, it gives you something. If you endure to the end of whatever this is, if you overcome whatever this is in each of the seven churches, you receive something at the end of it. Well, I've received every one of them except for one, the one that's about to come up, and that's the void in the last hour of trial that's about to come upon the whole earth. It's the only church that I haven't, and I've already received it. I just hadn't happened yet. Does that make sense? I've always been fascinated with Revelation, but it really kind of started with basically an argument in church over the rapture. It really did. We were all going to come together. And they wanted to have a Wednesday night Bible study, and I was new in the situation, but my mother-in-law and some other people they said, "Well, nobody truly understands Revelation, so let's have a class, read it together, and understand it." Well, there's somebody started talking about they couldn't. My mother, they couldn't find the rapture. I was one of those. I thought we'd come with something. And when we did that, they closed the books and we won't ever open. It was an argument between them, and we just kind of quit on. But I never stopped searching. I never stopped seeking. And when the rapture unlocked, because it does unlock, I can see it all throughout the Bible. But before then, I had all the same old talking points. All of them do. So yeah, it's in God's time, right? I would say I love everything about God except the timing. We argue about His timing all the time. That's untrue. That's not true. I would suggest you get several different Bibles and read it out of each one. But the best thing to do is just have your strong concordance. You can look up any word, any. Okay, here we go. So I was born. Let me bring this over here and show you. Can you see that? It's a converter. So I'm gonna plug in my birth date right here. I was born 2/5 of September 1976. Oh, 1970. Oh, I get 76. Y'all see why I have problems, right? All right, so I'm gonna convert it to Hebrew. Can you guys see that? My birthday. Converted to Hebrew. Second day of Tishri, 5737. That's the first time that any of these have ever said that. I got my days in right. Day, month, year. 1976. Okay. I was born during the month. I was born during Rosh Hashanah. Okay. I can do your birth dates as well. And I am going to look this up on one more converter. Let me find a different converter so that I can be assured that we're getting the correct dates. Okay, so here, look, this one's easy to see. I'll flip the camera around. You guys see that? Let's see if this one does the same thing. I've never had it do that before. So we'll go to September 25th, 1976. Okay, convert. Oh, it didn't do it. I did something wrong. Convert to Hebrew. What did I do wrong? Maybe this one don't work. Let me see. 1976. Convert to Hebrew. Convert Gregorian to Gregorian date. Okay. This one's not working. I'm sorry, guys. I am trying here. There's got to be a good one here. This is the one I just did, and I don't know. I just never. Regardless, that's still Rosh Hashanah, but I was born on Tishri 1. Get back. I mean, I don't want to lose anybody here, so let's. Hebrew date converter. Here we go. This one probably be pretty good. You guys can see that. Okay. September 25th, 1976. I was born after sunset. I was born at sunset. Oh, it matters, guys. Look. Okay, so check this out. Okay, so I was born September 25th, which was Tishri 1, 5737. You see that? Now, what I want to point out to you is that if it's after sunset, it's Tishri 2. But guess what? I want to show you something real quick. I was born. Now we'll come back and I'm going to show you your birth dates. I'm going right back to yours, whoever wants me to do it. But I want to show you this one little fact. One little fact before we move on. Google. I'm not too good at typing, so you guys forgive me. Google. Just Google. I just need Google. Okay. Uh, what time was sundown September 25th, 1976, Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, guys. You see that? That's what the time the sun went down in 1976. It takes approximately a minute and a half to 3 minutes for the sun to go down. I was born at 6:54 p.m. I was born at the moment between Tishri 1 and Tishri 2 at the very exact moment after sunset. So I was born on the Feast of Trumpets. Here's your sign right here. It's born on the Feast of Trumpets. Okay, so what birthday do you guys want me to look up? 12/24 of 60. Brian, I'll look that up for you real quick. let's see, December 12th of 60. That is Kislev 23 of 5721. Now, if you were born after sunset, let's see if that matters. Yeah, after sunset, you were born on the 24th. So it depends on what time of day you were born. August 1968. We'll look that up real quick for you, buddy. Oh, you've already looked it up, huh? You've already looked it up? Thank you. Thank you so much. Uh, so, do you think there's any, let me ask you guys, do you think there's any coincidences? Do you think the moment you were born is a coincidence? So I'm telling you, God sent me as a servant to get his bride ready. Was born on Rosh Hashanah, not even the very moment between the first and the second. I wasn't born at sundown, and the sun wasn't up either. It was the second it went down. So it's I can't make this up. Now look at this. Uh, I want to show you guys something. What was strange was is I was born in 5737. You can saw that if you saw that on there. 5737 is 1976. And when you look up when they believe Jesus was born, they believe he was born between 3 and 4 BCE. Okay? That is 3757. So it threw me off. It throws me off a lot. It was like he was born in 3757. What day was he born on? Was he born on the Feast of Trumpets? Was he born on the Feast of Tabernacles? Was he, you know what I mean? Like he was born in 3757. It's the way they believe. All the scholars or whatever believe that they've got it narrowed down to 3757. And I was born in 5737. So 2,000 years later, on a mirrored, you know, it's just a mirror, guys. It's just a mirror. That things mirror each other, you know. But I don't know if they don't mirror each other for no reason. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just a man, you know. But Elijah kind of explained that to me, and I'll tell you that personal experience if you want to hear it. But I'm not forcing on anybody. If you don't want to hear that stuff, I won't talk about it, you know. But if you want to hear, well, things kept mirroring that were freaking me out quite a bit, you know. The whole Joshua thing, you know, Jason, my, you know. No, I don't do Facebook. I don't like it. I think I do not like Facebook. Uh, I'm not real good with like Instagrams and stuff like that. I do have TikTok. I have TikTok. I'm Patriot underscore Pip. Uh, I do have a messenger. I have a messenger. I just don't have a Facebook. Um. Okay. Well, I do start things and I get off. I start reading and I get off track, guys. I was going to tell you about the true Israel. Do you know what Israel used to look like? It wasn't this little sliver. That's basically a joke. Do you understand? To have this little. Now Jerusalem is within there, and that is where Jesus walked in that area. But God used to be on earth. God used to be the light of earth. The earth shined like a bright star. However, it didn't burn like the sun because God was with his people. This was the first earth age, okay? This is before Lucifer fell, all of that, right? So you guys following me? And you know how all the continents fit together like a puzzle? You know, you can push them all and they all fit together perfectly. They're all separate, but if you put them together, it's what science calls Pangea. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Give me some. If I'm losing people, I'll quit talking about it. But Pangea was all of the land put together, and God was with his people, and his people were Israel. Somebody's pretending to know God's location. I'm not following. I don't. No, no, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so people were following me. Okay, so if you picture all the continents together, God wasn't a religion. He was just God. And what's happened is it all got busted up. That's part of Babel. Okay, our Bible starts the beginning of when He had just destroyed the earth by water. He was hovering over the waters when He began to create a continent, and He busted it up. That whole story of Bible goes back to the beginning of Genesis. It's 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 there's stories within stories within stories, guys. They're true. They have out and they keep going. Genesis is a growing book. That's why Jesus tells you in the parable of the virgins. You guys want to hear this? In the parable of I mean, not the parable of the virgins, but the parable of the sower. He says the sower goes off to sow some seed, and he sows some in a shallow path, and the birds came down and quickly ate it. Yeah, so he also sown some in a rocky area, and though they grew up quickly, they had no roots, so they withered. Some fell in some thorns and thistles and were choked out. However, some fell in some good soil, which is going to be you guys, and 30, 60, and 100 times what is sown. Right after he got through saying this, the disciples came to him and they're like, Master, why do you talk to these people in parables like that? Why don't you just, what's going on with that? And he says, do you not understand? In this parable are the secrets to the, in this story are the secrets to the kingdom of heaven. In this story. Are we, and then he goes on to explain how people will take the story as well. But first, let's just say that's Matthew's version. Let's go to Mark's version. Mark says the same thing, except Mark says that if you don't understand this parable, you won't understand anything else I say. Think about how important that is. If you don't understand this parable, then you can't understand anything else he says. And then he goes on to explain. He does. It's Matthew, Mark, and Luke for a reason. The reason why it's in Matthew, Mark, and Luke is for you to see what the disciples asked at each time, and the response they got from Jesus. Okay, the rest of the story is pretty much the same. So then Jesus says, "This is how the people are going to accept this parable as you tell them. Some the birds come down and quickly eat it. That's the devil snatching it away immediately. Some people grab it. They think it's the most wonderful thing, but they run to go tell somebody, and another person steals their crown by going, "That's crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever." You know, they say they take it from them. Some don't ever hear the story because of the world around them. That's the thorns and thistles that choke them out. But those who get the story, it will go 30, 60, and 100 times what is sown. And what he's telling you is the parable of the sower is Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve is a parable. Within a parable, within a parable, what do we know about a parable? It tells a story within a story, within a story, within a story, within a story. But the secrets of the kingdom of heaven are in that story. And if you don't understand that story, you won't understand anything else he says. What do you guys think about that? Give me some hearts. Are you follow me? Because I'm about to give you the secrets. I'm about to tell you a secret. I'm gonna skip right through it. And when you talk about Adam and Eve, you've got the snake and the woman and the apple, and They did that. That's your kindergarten story, right? And then if you continue to grow, that story grows. You realize it's a sexual sin, and some people get caught up on that, and that's as far as they go. And then as you get to realize that it's a battle between two brothers, I mean, it just literally keeps going and going and going. That story grows. But the point is that I'll give you an example. God said, you can have anything here you want. It's yours. You have to do nothing for it. It's yours. Just the only thing that you don't touch are these glasses right here. For if you touch these, you will surely die. Now, while he was away, got tricked. Eve told, you surely won't die if you touch it, if you eat of it, the fruit, whatever the fruit may have been. If you, as long as you don't, as soon as she touched, look, I'm not dead. I didn't die. What else is God lying about? You see, so it started the lie that God had lied about anything, because God never lied about anything. And when God came back to the garden, he said, Adam, where are you? He said, I'm behind this tree. And why are you behind that tree? Because I'm naked. And he said, who told you you were naked? Because they weren't naked. It was a lie. But because they believed that lie, they were cursed. And it cursed us, and the lie has traveled. God never lied. He's the only power that is. And they were going to surely die. It's just because they didn't die immediately. If they had died immediately, Adam would have never touched it. But because they didn't die immediately, they were tricked. Now they were stuck in the body. These were just clothes. They weren't going to be stuck. They could live forever, meaning they didn't die with the body. If the body dropped, an accident happened, you just have another body. Okay? But when the lie started, we got stuck in these bodies to die. And that's where it came from. So we can take it all different directions. Sexual sin, what kind of fruit was it? Was it really a reptilian? Was it really a snake? Was it even that at all? Was it Lucifer himself? It goes in all different directions because the birds are going to come down and quickly eat it. And not only that, you run with something and you'll wither quickly. Okay? But the ones who get what I'm saying here, that they did not surely die immediately, that's what started the lie, because they were going to surely die. That's the ones that fall in the good soil, which produces a crop of 30, 60, and 100 times what it's on. Now you can go forward and understand all the words Jesus said. Exactly. Look, Satan's in the mind. Your parents passed it to us. Our parents passed it to us. Their parents passed it to them. It passes down through the mind and the bloodline. Nobody breaks free of it. Jesus was the only one that was free of it. Hey, Z Bob, what's going on, buddy? Glad to see you guys. I know you guys are a lot of you are talking to, along the way, along with. I do mean to read some of these, so I'm going to just stop running my mouth unless somebody asks me like a question that I go off in deep. I was telling you this because the freedom of sin is in the story. You got to understand where sin originated, what it truly is. See, when they sinned, it separated them from the Father. It separated them. They had a relationship with the Father. Sin separated them from the Father. It simply means separation. Sins are something that's a sin consciousness. When we were no longer with the Father, that's a sin consciousness. And anything you do under a sin consciousness, you commit sins. But when we wake up, Christ, who died for our sins, wake up to the Christ consciousness, the Christ sin. Now, Did he ever say he didn't transgress? Did he ever say he didn't trespass against his brother? Did he ever say any of these things? No. He simply always had a relationship with the Father, a complete, undeniable. He never was a sinner, and he died a sinner's death. He died a murderer. He died a liar. He died a robber, a thief, a rapist. For everybody. He died. He died the worst death for everybody. He died all of those things so that you wouldn't have to. And I'm not saying you're all of those things, but he died for those people too. And when, when let's get something right, okay? You know how they say one sin is not any worse than the other sin? God sees it all. So yeah, all of them separate you from God when you're under sin. But when you're under a Christ consciousness and you do something, there are differences between what you do. Do you understand that? You can do worse things, and there are worse acts than others. And God will deal with you harshly under the Christ consciousness if you decide to go that way. We get dealt with faster and harder. You guys know that. Some people, they seem to they can get away with anything. Not us. Our Father is watching us. Who else still with us? Midnight, you still with us? I know it's Friday. I know it's Saturday night and people have things to do. I understand that. I just wanted to come on here and I'm going to, so throughout Hanukkah, I'm going to try to put out a video every early in the day, a motivational, let's get ready. Whatever's going on for the day, we'll take a look at it. And then at night, we'll get together and we'll discuss things that we see happening, could happen, did happen. Anything new anybody comes up with? What do you guys think about that? Is it a good plan? If I come on too much, they'll label me a spam, you know. But I enjoy this YouTube community, I I can do TikTok lives. I don't do them. I mean, I've done one, you know, but it was a while back. I just, you know, I enjoy this YouTube group. Holla holla. That's right. I've always put that together too. I've always put that together too. It's saying Jesus is real, you know. But yeah, that's my plan, guys, and I definitely appreciate everything that everybody's done for me on this live too. I mean, I'm humbled. I really am. Uh, I just don't even know what to say. It's an amazing thing to watch what God does. Through you guys. I've been doing this for years, and this is the first time that anyone's ever offered me anything back for it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I, I I just do it because this is what Jesus put in me, and I can't. It's overflow. It just comes out. But like I say, if there's anything, did you understand? I'll draw a picture real quick. If I can find, I'm gonna use one of her envelopes if I can find a pen. I'm gonna kind of give you a picture of what Israel used to look like. It was one landmass, one piece of land, and that was Israel. Science calls it Pangea. And when that landmass broke apart, you got Europe and America and well, Great Britain and this Australia and all these other things. It was all one landmass, guys. And the earth shined like a bright star. Yeah. Forgive my drawing there. I know I lack those type of skills. But that's what Jesus showed me in the spirit. When he told me to come up here, he showed me the earth the way it used to be. And when God was with his people. Why don't you guys ever is there we got do we have a troll in here, guys? I'm just not catching it. Anybody give me their name real quick so I can make sure I'm trying. We rapture trolls out here. He just got raptured, guys. Look at him. He's gone just like that. We don't know how to. I didn't catch it. I wasn't reading them. I'm sorry, guys. He'll be back in a second under a different name. We'll get rid of him again. It'll be fun. You know what? It's prophetic. We'll just start saying, one of you guys prophesy that they're going to be put out. I will make that prophecy come true. Oh, meth Jesus. That's pretty good. I'll tell you what. I may look like Methuselah. That don't mean Methuselah. See, Bob, I don't know what I missed, dude. Oh, yeah. I know about your daughter. Yeah. I believe she's entertained by angels too, dude. You got to understand. The spirit of Elijah comes through your children. You may be recognizing the spirit of Elijah. You may want to question your little girl and see what all she might say to you. And write it down, dude. I didn't have a pen. I didn't write it down. I'm going off all memory. No doubt. Their kids are more linked up than we. They're not polluted like we are. They can believe when we, our mind tries to cancel everything out. It tries to instead of going, did I just hear my name called? Oh, that was that bird in the background. That must have been what I heard. Our mind always counts it out. I don't know how to explain it. When I learned to listen real good is when you get outside and you let a convergence of everything, every noise come together, and it'll begin to start talking to you. Like this example, you're trying to sit in silence, but a bird whistles, a door slams, a kid says, "Hey," a big truck comes by, an airplane overhead, and something drops over here. Your wife says, "Hey," you see what I'm saying? But if you close your eyes and don't count them out as a different noise, but all one noise, you'll begin to hear the spirit. He does love us, Melissa, and he loves you. Somebody was who was that on here? Is Toke on here? What's it? Was he tinfoil Toke? Is he on here somewhere? He was feeling bad about himself today, and we talked, and I think he's doing better. But everybody's been having just a hard day. Sometimes we do, guys. We wake up in different ways, and don't feel bad because you feel that way. Our hearts are longing for Jesus so bad that it's not anxiety, it's excitement in a way that it's like, how long can I be excited before I explode? You know what I mean? I just don't know because they've kept the excitement going this season 100%, wouldn't you say? I mean, regardless of who's right, who's wrong, all this stuff, the excitement has been the most exciting rapture season I've ever been through my life, and I've never been through a rapture season. I've been through a rapture date, a whole rapture season. Wow. And I'm talking about like nobody would put it down. Nobody would give up. I even got confirmations. Back when I was getting I got a confirmation. I wasn't even asking for it and got it. Uh, so I knew that I never did, but all of them, they just love to call somebody a false prophet, right? False prophet this, false prophet that. I'm careful with that because I'm sure I read things out of the Bible that didn't happen back then, they're happening now. And I'm sure a lot of people, 500 years later, they could have still called him a false prophet. 1,000 years later, they could have still called him a false prophet. 1,500 years later, they could still call them false prophets, but their prophecies are coming true today. So when we look at something, we have to kind of look with a spiritual mind instead of looking with just from a man's mind. Oh, you didn't get it right. Wait a minute. Maybe there's something we're not seeing, right? So I've had a good time with this, you know. And did you guys like the converter? Did you like the little Hebrew converter? Hebrew birth date converter? It'd be interesting to find out when you were born and see if it landed, what feast it landed. It might have landed on a feast. But I was born on the Feast of Trumpets, and my job is to sound the trumpet. You even guys see where there's a little button there where you hit after sunset, or I was born at sunset. I can't put after sunset. Can't really put before sunset. Where am I? I do. I believe so too. I believe Jesus had a reason, and I do believe that he never look. He was he put himself on the spot. You know, he put himself out there, back for Christ, got him on, put him online when this was going on. I'm sure that wasn't a good idea. You know, where do you want to be sitting whenever Jesus calls us? I right now be just fine, but I kind of like to be praying or something. You know what I mean? I kind of like to be in that special place, you know, whatever's going to be happening. If there's 3 days of darkness or, uh, I don't know about all that, but a lot of people claim it. So got to be some validity to it. You know, all these signs be converging. You know, I don't know, you know, but they were looking to disappear online on live TV when you got Fox News and channels like that watching. It was too mainstream, guys. It's too mainstream. So right now, through all the whole season's done went by, here we are at the final part of the season. Nobody's going to listen to us. I can look at my videos and see the views they're getting, and tell they've went down about 300 or 400 people just in this. They're not on board with it anymore. Nobody's looking except for the ones that are supposed to be looking. I felt a presence about Joshua too. I'll be honest with you. I didn't feel nothing bad out of him. I mean, still don't. Still not going to call him a false prophet. I'm just going to say maybe he didn't understand what his vision was. You know, he took things as certain things when maybe they meant something else. Along with these other dreams and visions, they're not invalid. Though too many people are saying the same kinds of things. You don't dream. You know, little kid has the same dream as an older lady, and you know, whatever. All these dreams and visions and stuff, they're valid. It's just they're not in their timing. They're not on our timing. You know, we'd love you wake up from them things. You're like, oh my gosh, I got to tell you something because you feel so dire. Like you just came out of it. You were in whatever part of the maybe you're somebody who was left behind in the vision, and you're seeing chaos, and you come out of it and you feel like this chaos is about to go off right now, when we could be just talking about a short time in the future. You see what I'm saying? But it's symbolism in it. Well, I mean, you're spending your Saturday night on here with an old fella talking about the Lord, and a bunch of other good friends in here and good people, and you know, that's a good place to be. Welcome to, what do we want to call this? We call it Daily Oil, right? Is it the Daily Oil Church? I don't sound too great. Maybe the Church Without Walls. Don't they already have one of those? Um, we need something unique, you know. Definitely something rapture believing in it. We want to be with people like us. We want to be in one accord. We want to. That's the coming together like this. When we talk out here to other people, we're just trying to help them come into the family. But this is the family, guys. And right now, I think I'm peaking around 2,360 people. Now, back in January, no, September 23rd and 4th, because I had just started the YouTube channel, I gained like 1,200 people like that. So I told them, I was like, Jesus basically making me feel like I can double this before the rapture. Me thinking the rapture was like the next week. Well, I've almost doubled it now, but it's like a couple months later. But I didn't know I was even, sometimes you don't know you're prophesying when you're prophesying. Sometimes you don't know. You know, I said that. I wish I would have said all I need is one person, and we already had it happen, but I said I needed to double it, and there it was. Jesus saves souls, Trump saving their country. Hey, I don't care what anybody says. Trump, I like Trump, but you know, I've also said this from the get go, though. I voted for him. I was one of his, I'm there. There was nobody better for the job. Yeah, yeah. She's nothing but a wino, and it was obvious in many of her, when she would talk. It sounded just like a wine mom, huh? Oh, yeah. They're still trying to push Kamala Harris. I've never seen anybody who could say so much nothing. Midnight. Oh, there we go. Tenfold. No worries, bro. That's right. Listen, you guys, we got trolls out here who or just say things just to aggravate you, right? Then we have the people that they try to get a little deeper. They want to dig at you about this rapture. Why do they care that you believe in the rapture? Why do they care so much? Why does it bother them so much? Ask yourself that. Why does it bother them so much? Is it because they don't feel the invite? Right, right. Your crown, you've been given a crown as soon as you realize that it's been unlocked for you. That is your crown. Things about crowns is that they can be stolen if you let them get stolen. But you just don't let no one take it because you gained that crown from knowing. You're not from not knowing. You gained it from knowing. Faith, having faith in something is something that is tested. Why is faith tested? Because you've never seen, heard, felt, touched, or tasted all of your senses. Okay, you just believe because you have faith. Okay, but once you know, now you have to have faith for other things. What God's going to do for you. It's like once you know there's a God, and you don't just have to have faith. Is there a God or is there not a God? Once you know there's a God, knowing's a lot different than just having faith there's one, right? Now you got to have faith in what He's going to do for you. But I will say there was a time when I didn't see the rapture, and then when it turned on, and I did. So it's definitely an unlocked process. Either the door's open or the door's shut, which means we can translate to that to either an invitation or no invitation. It's common sense, guys. We just do it deductive reasoning, right? I'm not just saying that out of my head. It's just these things break down to exactly. He says the banquet, invited to a wedding banquet. Not everyone shows. Invitations go out, right? And if you see it in the Bible, or you've heard it from someone else and believe you have been invited, you got your invitation. Quit worrying, guys. I don't want you guys to worry about the rapture no more. It's coming. Don't let these people get to you. Bring them to me. I'll take them on. Bring them to me. Give them my name. I've got something for every one of them. If you're having a problem with a family member, bring them on. In fact, there's a way that you can turn it on and have two people on here, me and whoever, and we'll do it that way. But I totally see a pre-rapture, totally. Other people talk about all the mid-raptures and all these. None of the stories show that. But, you know, it may just not be unlocked for me. Maybe it got unlocked for them. Got me? Meaning that I only needed the first invitation. When I say I mean we. It's just that you remember when Trump used to say I all the time, and then he started saying we, and so that it doesn't sound so Ish. But when I get to preaching and stuff and carrying on, I get a little more animated, and I may use I by accident when I really mean us. Us. We received our invitations. You either know you got it or you don't. Is it in your mind? Do you know it's coming? You know you've been invited. The people that you argue with, some of them on here are just trolls. Some of them are just meant to do it. They're just meant to argue with you. I don't know if it's bots or whatever. And then the people, your family members, and the Bible told you they would never believe you. Jesus said, no prophet or wise, no, you're not going to walk in there and just tell your old parents how it is. They see you as your child, their child. What's their child going to tell them, right? So you have to go. It would be easier for you to talk to my parents and me to talk to your parents than it is for you to talk to your parents. See what I'm saying? They'll listen to it from somebody else before they will their own child, their own brother, their own uncle. You know what? You know what I'm saying. No, so. But if you have problems with people and they just really just give you a hard time, just come with that question and I'll give you the answer and you go back and get them. We've got to figure out how to where we can do this where you guys can send me personal messages. Is there a way to do that through YouTube where you kind of have like text messaging? Or do we have to go to a different platform to do such a thing? I just really hate to move away from YouTube to just do it. 10 4. I'm always glad to see 10 4. I hope you're feeling better about yourself today, buddy. I was feeling the same way 2 days ago. It's just sometimes we're down, you know. Sometimes I cheerlead so hard that I feel like I need a cheerleader, you know. And don't feel bad. I get the same way. All it is that I have to find that happy place and get there, get excited once my day. I don't wake up feeling great in the mornings and just want to do triple somersaults because Jesus is coming. But somewhere throughout that day, I want to attempt it. Oh, that's right. You know, some of mine might be because I'm diabetic, so I take insulin. So sometimes I wake up and I'm not in such a good place. I get that insulin in me, and whatever, and uh, it makes me feel better. I guess just be back in that that good space. Um, it was just one of those things. I had 5 surgeries back to back, and then diagnosed diabetic in the middle of it. And oh, it's just one thing after another. I'm in good enough shape to run my mouth, but uh, that's about it. When they called me in to do my second knee, my first one hurt so bad and was so scary that I declined on my second knee. And it seems to be working a little better since I'm not so much pressure on both knees. I mean, one knee at a time, Does that make sense? But I think I'm blessed for God. Look, I had my muscle ripped off my arm. It was hanging under here. My muscle was under here, up under my arm. I didn't even know it. I was washing dishes and my arm was burning when I was holding the plate. What's wrong? What's wrong? And what it was is me and a guy. I was working for little money because you just have to do what you can do around here. And we had a tree stump we were pushing up on the back of a truck. He let go on his side, and it came down and ripped my arm up, ripped my muscle off my arm, tore my shoulder, finished my knee out, uh, yeah, and 5 hernias, all in one whack. So I was pretty put me down. So the doctor said go get disability. So I went and filed for it. A friend of mine has a shop. He calls me up there. One week he just couldn't do it without me. He wanted me to hang out with me when he come up there. His vape shop. So I go up there with him and he gives me a 501 shirt, really nice shirt. And I was wearing it up there, sitting in there. And this man calls and says that somebody had applied for a job, and used my name and stole a bunch of stuff. And he wanted me to look at a lineup of people to decide um, who these, if I knew them. Well, I looked at it. I didn't know any of them. I didn't know what he was talking about. But of course, wearing the 501 vape shirt, it says 501 vapes, on the building. And I didn't let on any less because I don't want him to think that I have anything to do with whoever this was. Well, it wasn't a real thing. It was the guy from the Social Security office, the detective. And it looked like I was working and everything. So it's just the way God, that one day messed me up. One day is when that guy came. I guess I wasn't supposed to have it, right? I mean, I guess maybe I don't know. But that's just my story, guys. I'm just telling you a little short story of how my life goes. So I just do sell on Poshmark, try to sell clothing, and it's slow, but somehow we make it. You know, in certain ways. you know. But we ain't got to worry about that very much longer because Jesus is on his way. And I know you guys all have your issues, but I had a guy on here earlier. Hit me up on TikTok. Had a Christian thing. He said he wanted to tell me a story. And before it was over, basically, he was asking me for money. And I was like, I just told him, I was like, I gave him my story back. I was like, dude, I give you, offer you any kind of help, but I don't have that to give. You know what I'm saying? Oh, if God suddenly makes me a million guy, I'll get on you. I help you out, man. But till then, I'm just kind of the same boat everybody else is, floating. I'm floating on floating on a door like the Titanic. I'm still floating though. But enough of my stuff. I just wanted to, it's just kind of, you want to know me a little better. There you go. I mean, it's just all that happened to me. And like a year before that, I was a perfectly healthy, pretty strong guy, and all at once got hurt. And the guy, what happened? Okay, so The guy saw me get hurt, but I didn't even know I was hurt. That's how bad it was. All I was thinking about was I needed the money. So I was calling him days afterwards saying, "Hey man, have we got any work? I'm ready to, And he's like, "No, we don't have any work today." He told me because my insurance lapsed, and it was because he saw me get hurt and he wasn't wanting to pay for it. His insurance to pay for it. So he told me that and let me go. But that's life. Luckily, I had some health insurance to help buy me a new knee and put somebody else's parts in my arm. And so I'm not all me. I got somebody else's DNA in here too. I know I got Jesus' DNA as well. But are you guys? We've been on here about an hour. Well, no, not quite 2 hours. About an hour and a half. Has anybody got any thing they would like to talk about or say? That you want me to express out loud in front of everybody. Go ahead now. I'm sorry. I do ramble a lot, but anything you want me to express to anybody out loud, guys? I do believe your little girl is being visited by angels. It's the right timing, bro. It's the right timing. I would imagine the angels are going to be real heavy here soon. Back like they was in 2015 when I thought the end should be then. Angels are something amazing, guys. I am amazing. Look, I was in my mother-in-law's backyard. Now, listen to this story, okay? It's my mother-in-law's backyard, and I could hear something making noise over the fence. And it sounded big, but I couldn't see it. Well, I thought I heard. I said, speak. I said it like that. Then I got riled with it. I said, speak. And when I did, it started going, "Roar, roar," and this beating on top of the house. Boom, boom, boom. My mother-in-law comes outside and she said, "What is that?" And when she did, that boom, boom, boom noise went from boom, boom, boom to a hammer down the street. You could hear somebody hammering on something down the street. But at that point, it was booming on top of the house. And whatever it was about to speak to me. And my mother-in-law broke it up when she came out the door. So I have seen some spiritual things, guys. And I'm personally, I'm not crazy. I'm telling you, just like a normal person, these things really happen. You know. Well, all my heart of hearts says that. Now look, we can't help that the equinox and all these come to a date. They just do. I don't pick dates. They just come out to a date. It's somewhere between December 21st and 22nd is when I'm looking my hardest. That that you see how when I did that and it matters whether it's sunset or after sunset. Somewhere between the two, at that last moment when the equinox changes, I'm expecting Jesus. And guys, I'm not like the rest of them. They'll tell you I won't be disappointed. I will be highly disappointed. Okay. I believe that for me, it's not a belief. It's like I feel like it's fact. But I have to use the word belief because I mean, really, it is. I mean, I don't know anything. I can't come out here and go 50 billion% like Joshua did. That threw me for a loop when all this happened. But I've known what I've known for 10 years, and I've never changed the message. You can go back and look on TikTok. I've even put them on here in some of the older videos. If you go to the black and white ones, you can see me saying the exact same words 5 years ago, and that's the first one I got online. because I've been saying it 5 years before them to everybody I could talk to. And I used to worry about it because I'd only probably talked to about 200 people, over time. But this right here changed everything. Well, I got a couple different thoughts about it, theories. I mean, that's basically all we can have is theories at this point until it actually happens. I call it AKA the Ark. It's weird what they named it. Three Eye Atlas, Third Eye Atlas. What if it passed by and suddenly we're in our incorruptible bodies and have special abilities we didn't have before, becoming our true selves? Okay? And that's the ones that prophesy during the 1260 days. What if that's where we all leave and come back trained? What if we just leave and don't come back till the second coming? There's all kinds of ways to look at this. There's nothing exact. Nobody knows exact. We can get. I don't care what anybody says. They know all the Bible. It takes an interpretation to understand things, and how this man interprets it, how this man interprets it. But there is a true interpretation. There is exactly the way it'll be. But the thing is that a lot of things mirror. Like they're saying, oh, this happened in 70 AD. There may be some mirror effects, but we know that nothing in 70 AD has anything to do with you buying, selling, and trading in the last days. So you know that the mark that they're talking about from then has nothing to do with the mark that's coming, right? Hitler mirrored the Antichrist, but Hitler's gone. These are the last days. So there's a lot of things that mirror each other, but are not it. Make sense? I read that, Melissa. I read that. I can read out loud if you'd like. I mean, you understand that what we call rapture is what we think rapture means. Now we know it's avoiding wrath. That's a given. We know it's to be with Jesus. That's a given. But the rest of the facts about it, we do not know. Okay? It's probably going to be so much more amazing to it than we can even fathom from these little minds that it's never going to stop being exciting and different and new. That's right. Look, God provides. God provides. He really does. And He will provide for you. I'm not one of these prosperity preachers. I'm just telling you that, do you realize that your 10% is just being here and being a part of it and wanting to talk about it? It doesn't have anything to do with money. Okay? Where you put your 10% of your mind at is what God's worried about. He's not worried about pennies. And that's something we need to survive here. Give Caesar what is Caesar's. But soon you're going to see, look, this group of people are going to be able to do things that Jesus did and even more. Jesus told you that. They're going to be able to, see walking on water, raising people from the dead, healings, arms growing right in front of you, legs that grow right in front of you. Man who never saw sees. A guy that's never heard before suddenly has eardrums. Uh, Fire coming out of my house. It's going to be all kinds of special abilities. I don't know if we'll all have every one of them or we'll all have different ones. some much the same, some a little different. Everybody in their own whatever specialty that they do. Okay, but I do know that something's coming like that. And would that be the rapture? You know, the only thing I can say is that it does allude to one man in the field, the other one's gone. Two women grinding the mill, the other one's gone. So, it, but you do have that group that believes that the one that's left is the one that's lucky. But with God's wrath coming, I don't know being left here would be the lucky part, you know? We will be. When you read about the second coming of Christ, you're reading about your second coming. Do you understand that? When he steps foot on the Mount of Olives, he's got an army with him. Who do you think the army is? So the rapture and the second coming are two total different things. You don't want to be left here to the second coming. Why? Because there's going to be a lot of death during that time. Most won't make it. Like 2 billion people on earth die in the first of tribulation. 2 billion? No, we're not talking about 2 million, 2 billion. Midnight, I'm right there with you. I just don't like to say it. When so anybody watching this live afterwards, I'll go ahead and say this, okay? Midnight said, I don't believe there is going to be as much people going in the rapture like people think. He's right. He's right. Very right. We don't know people's hearts, guys. They can say whatever they want to with them. Some people just say it to us, or you'll shut up, right? If you'll just be quiet about it, I believe in Jesus, right? They might even play along. They might even enjoy the church. They might even enjoy being around people. You know, what is it? The fellowship. Some people don't even most people don't ever care. How many you know how many there are way more other people than Christians is the least. We're the dying away group. Less people less people go to church now than ever. You're right. The way I had it figured, you're right. Now, what I'm saying you're right to is somebody said that a third. Brian said Brian Brian Simon said, "Heard 1/3 will be raptured, 1/3 of humanity." You realize that's what is 1/3 of 8 billion people? Here's what I've thought for a while, and I told my dad this a while back. I knew the end was coming when we get to 8 billion people on Earth. I've been watching it for a while. About 8 years ago, we we're at 7.6 billion. And I said, when 8 billion people get on Earth, the Gulf is emptying because everyone shall be here whenever Jesus comes. Every knee shall bow. Everyone will see it. But there's a lot of validity to the Gulf. The Gulf of Souls is emptying, and do you know what the Gulf is? Anybody? I guess you've watched The Third Sign before, right? Or is this The Seventh Sign? Demi Moore. And that's a really good movie if anybody's ever seen it. But the Gulf is something talked about in Jewish. It's the hallway of souls. And the hallway of souls is emptying. Yep. Some people, like I said, some people are living in their bubble, and this world's okay with them because their bubble's okay. But after the rapture, their bubble's no longer going to be okay. They just don't realize that. Suddenly, it's like you run from a bear and get caught by a lion, or run from a lion and end up running in a cave with a bear. You get away from the bear and sit on a snake. That's the way it's going to be. That's the way wrath goes. You can't avoid it. You can't get away from it. It'll be in every part of your personal life, in every part of outside world, national, every which way. Nothing good will be going for them. Do you understand that? God's wrath is God's wrath. It doesn't get easy. And I don't want to be here for that. You know, I would rather lay my life down fast. Like, hey guys, I'm not taking the mark. Let's go ahead and do it. You know, from the get go. Let's just go. I'll take Satanism from the start. You know, um, but oh wow, how awesome is that? You're awake for it. That's the ones that I watch for. Is the ones that are awake when these things happen. I was awake. Midnight says, Mickey, I was awake. I took 3 steps across the floor, and it was as if I was. It was really happening. Oh my gosh, are you guys? Thank you so. Tinfoil just gave me a great gift. Thank you so much. I $30. I want to say that out loud, everybody, so you can see. Thank you so much, man. That helps. Oh man, praise Jesus. Thank you guys. I don't know. I'm as humble as I could be to tell you thank you so much. Uh, Definitely. This is this is church, guys. We're having church here on Sabbath Saturday night, and I appreciate the. It says Looney Tunes True Day, but about 21 USD. Merry Christmas, Jay. Thank you for the Christmas present. Thank you so much. That's probably the only Christmas present I'll get. You know what I'm saying? When you get old like me, they don't give them to you. But I like the food during Christmas time. I really do. How do I do this? Okay. I'm so new to this. I don't. Thank you so much. Tinfoil, midnight is in, and I tell you, uh, uh, is everybody still in here? Let me see who all. I'm going back here. See who all's still in here. I haven't seen somebody talk for a while, so I am looking on, and it's been so long I can't find it. But you guys have really, 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 really. I appreciate it so much. That was awesome. Um, Lithium Kid, and so now let's read the rest of this. Midnight says only saw way across the field maybe 5 or 6 other lit up souls going up with me. There were 3 family members in the house, and I didn't see them go up. That's going to be a look. Let me tell you guys something. Do you know how much I love my children? I love my daughter and son so much. I love my parents, but I know that Well, I don't know about my son, but as far as my daughter, I feel like they're going to have to go through wrath. Their little worlds, their bubbles, they love their life too much. And it sounds like death to them. And you can just tell by the things they say. They called on September 23rd and 24th to see if we were dead yet. That's how they took the rapture, if we were dead yet. And my parents, they don't let me. I grew up in church. They go. I think they still. I don't know because we don't even talk. Because when I got mine, they quit. They cut me off like a. They did not want to hear it. Not out of their son. They said I think I'm Jesus. I tried to show them. Look, Mom, I was born on. They won't even look. What I showed you guys about being born on Rosh Hashanah. I could never get my mother to even look. My own mother. She said, "You think you're Jesus?" It's just simple facts. So we all go through it, guys. But I do have a mother-in-law that listens. She just kind of goes back and forth. She may listen to me for a little while, and she hears a little something else, and she'll come back. You know, but every time she talks to me, she leaves just as fulfilled and strong. But then I call her Simon Peter. Reason why is because you know Jesus said, "Simon, your new name will be Peter." But every time Simon Peter would say something earthly instead of talking of heavenly things, Jesus called him Simon, and it was to let him know without saying, "Hey, you're not talking heavenly. Hey, you're talking earthly." He would just call him by the name of which he was talking from. Merry Christmas, everyone! Thank you for the Christmas presents, guys. Oh my God, I can't believe my wife ain't gonna believe this. You know, I just uh you know, I know we're having church and you guys feel it. And um, right about look at tomorrow night. We're gonna be celebrating the first day of Hanukkah. I've got one candle, guys. I don't have a menorah, but if one of you guys got the menorah, look, I tell you what. Is anybody interested in doing the double where we're down here together? Is anybody interested in that? Tenfold. Thank you so much, buddy. You're awesome. Thank you. Midnight, you awesome as well. Thank you guys so much. What is it here? Okay. How do I do this where do I slide it over or something? What do I do? I guess it just automatically goes to the top. But that was an awesome, awesome gift. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So over the next few days, um, if you guys decide somebody wants to do a split screen with me, and we can just go back and forth. Somebody can help me read. Maybe I need a moderator. Anybody interested in moderating? Kind of help me out because I ramble a lot and I don't see good. So if anybody's interested in that, um, moderating sometime for me, or we help get rid of some of the riffraff, and uh, that way I can freely. It's just weird being asking questions like, what the first guy asked me, how much fabric softener or detergent have I eaten? What? If these bots are trying to get in, if it's bots, they're not that good at what they're saying. They let themselves known immediately, but because I ramble on, it'll take me a while to catch on to one of them. You know, but what do you guys think about the building here? It's got several uses, and one main one is this one. Anymore for me, YouTube is quite a bigger job than you would really imagine. Because of having to go to God, find a message for the day. Sometimes it takes me going through other people's videos, and watching what they say, because I'll tell you, like tinfoil. You told me you'd watch some videos. They kind of brought you down a little bit, whatever. I'd suggest not watching them. But the thing is one night I was feeling, it was just after all these naysayers and all this going on, and watching people argue in the community on YouTube, about what's what, and calling each other false and all that. And then I watched some videos one night talking about the chosen. Have you ever watched those? They're like put together videos talking about the chosen ones, and why they are. And it uplifted me so much. I stayed up all night long. I watched about 5 videos. I was so ready to give a message after that. So excited. So yeah, sometimes I get a boost, and YouTube does have its good moments. I'm not either, or otherwise, uh, I would know how to edit. My son gets on to me all the time. Dad, edit. Do you know the way I make my thumbnails? Y'all know how I make my thumbnails, right? I'll show you how. Because I don't know how to do it, I use the door, but I use on the outside so you don't see a shadow. And then I put all my words right, up in here. So that's the only way I know how to do a thumbnail. So mine look primitive, but you know, somebody told me that they like that. It doesn't. It proves that they don't like the AI looking stuff. So I'm a little old school with it, but maybe I'll get better. Maybe I'll get better and learn how to use some. But like I say, I didn't like using the YouTube platform to do my video on, because I did it. I used the green screen. See, when you're on this, you can use the green screen, and I can show you scriptures and stuff like that. Well, I don't know how to use this green screen without being on a live, because it only allows you like 3 minutes with a green screen. I've done messed up. See, let me fix it. Go back to nothing. Oh, let's go back around. So the green screen is uh, what I use during the live, or otherwise I only have 3 minutes and I don't talk that fast. So because I did it that way, it showed up as a live instead of in the live section. Some of the video didn't get watched as much as fast as some of my other ones do. I use TikTok. I basically just double up. I send what I do on YouTube. TikTok gets to see my YouTube videos. I don't do TikTok videos for YouTube. But you can add music to theirs and not get copyright. I got copyrighted yet last night, you guys. They hit me up. I couldn't play my live till I removed the songs. That's right. That's right, guys. Midnight volunteers. And look, where's the people that'll sit here on Saturday night? We did it on Friday night. We now have been over 2 hours. We're at 2 hours and about 15 minutes now. I would say let's continue. The people that you're having a hard time with that carry you backwards, quit talking to them. You gave them their chance. Dust your feet off. Try to talk to somebody a little easier to talk to. For 1,200 and some days, forgive me, I forgot the exact number. Snuggle or Downy on the beer, Jay? Uh, More like Suave. Sometimes I gotta spray some Downy in it. I guess that's a good idea. I could smell linen and fresh all day. That'd be nice. But what we use on our clothes, we use Parcel. Anybody ever heard of that? Parcel. Persil. You'll see it at Walmart. Or I'm gonna tell you something, guys. You can use Tide, all the expense, whatever. You'll never find a better smelling one than Parasol. And I'm talking about without even putting Downy or Snow. Your clothes just smell so much better. Who? Okay, he's not a naysayer. He's well intentioned though. It's uh midnight. I don't know if you was talking. Maybe you was talking to me. I don't understand quite the 1200 and some days. Forgive me. Are you talking about the 1260 days? Talked about the two witnesses prophesying. Hey, Jimmy. Only subscribers chat. Can I do that? How do I do that? If you tell me how, I could do it. I mean, uh, is there a special thing you do? We can knock it down where we get rid of some of the riffraff if that's what you're talking about. But as they come in, I don't mind deleting them. And I'll let a moderator do that. A lady received a word. She said that the small percentage of 104 are the in desert for so many days, 1,200 some days. I don't know where she gets that from. Uh, the Bible. I don't know where she gets that from. The 144,000 are not Jews. 12,000 of them are Jews, and they are. I told you what Elijah said about it, and I told you what I already knew about them. I already knew that they were prophets and wise men from, but I didn't know the backstory on them and why they were who they were. Okay, that's where Elijah came in. But I already knew this, and they're not the only ones that make it. But the number that does make it is still way too small compared to the ones that don't. They outnumber us by a lot. Who's messing with you, Mickey? What did he say? When I don't know, he says, when I don't know how to do something, I always say I do, and I go straight to Google and find out. Yes, right. Exactly. Exactly. If I don't know how to do something, YouTube does. Um, well, that's be debated. You got to understand something. You're looking at Revelation as a in this order, and this order, and this order, and this order, right? So you're reading it in sections and going, okay, well, this happens at this part of the book, and this happens in this part of the book. I want you to understand something. The trumpets, the seals, and the cups of God's wrath, if you read them, what comes first, the seals or the trumpets? You tell me. And if you look, when a seal's broken, a third of the earth burns. A third gets pestilence. A third of each thing happens. Then when you get to the trunk, it gets bigger. More, it's bigger. It's not just a third anymore. It's a and if you read this last seal, the last trumpet, and the last cup of God's wrath are all exactly the same thing. Loud thunder and peals, lightning, and a great storm are coming. can read it for you. It's not in chronological order. If you read it, it's kind of like go back. I'm trying to make sense here. It's not like you read step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. These things are all happening in sections. Like a third of the earth will burn, and then 3/4 of the earth will burn. Eventually, the whole earth will burn. You know what I'm saying? When Jesus steps foot on earth, the whole earth burns. First seal, third of the earth burns. Go back. Look, I'm to do it tonight because it take too long, and it's where I've been on here a good while now, which I don't mind it. This chair's getting more and more uncomfortable. And I did not bring myself a drink out here, guys. Uh, but here's one of the biggest things I want you all to understand. We have 16 people on here right this second. I want all 16 of you to understand something. You are worthy. You are worthy. If you're not worthy, then what Jesus did to make you worthy is useless. He won't have you saying you're not worthy. He made you worthy through him. You are to stand up and be righteous through him. What does righteous mean? You stand up and talk to the Father as yourself. Okay? So, Brian, when you talk to the Father, you talk to him as Brian. He sees you as Brian. That's when Jesus worked for you. See, he died for your sins so that you would not have that on you. Okay? When we're baby Christians, he covers us. He covers us. He covers us. God doesn't really see us. They sees us as him. Okay? So when he sees us as Jesus. So when we pray to him, really, Jesus is mediating for us because not all of our prayers make it to the Father. Okay? Because Jesus doesn't want, you're representing him by saying these things because you're under him. But when Jesus works for you and you realize that because he died for your sin, and you realize what sin was from the first parable, makes you no longer a Christ consciousness is not sin consciousness. They're separate. Christ can have something to do with the Father. Sin consciousness can't have anything to do with the Father. Now, yes, you are a sinner until you come to the knowing what. Well, I'm just not. I've went through this. Some of you guys know exactly. Brian, you can say transgressor, right? How many people on here can say transgressor? That'll show you these people know what I'm talking about. See, sinner no more, right? See that? He means to say transgressor because he knows what it means. Jesus died for your sin. Why would you remain in that? That is just a consciousness. And yeah, sins are the things that you do under a sin consciousness. That's why the only prayer that's important in a Christ consciousness is, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. It will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, or some Bibles say transgressions. Some say, forgive our debtors. Thank you so much. I went so fast. Jimmy Lancaster, thank you so much, bud. Thank you. Um, that where was I at? Okay, so it says some say debtors, and then it says lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power and the glory forever and ever. Anywhere in that prayer do you hear forgive me of sin? Because you handled sin once at the cross. Every time you go back and say, forgive me of my sins, oh Jesus, you're crucifying him all over again. We don't want to continue to crucify him. So, yes, when you're under a Christ conscious, do you mess up? You're the same as that guy, same as the next guy. The only difference is you're in a Christ consciousness, he sins. So, you still transgress, you still trespass, you still don't forgive debts sometimes, you still have problems with, being tempted and all that. You still can be tempted under a Christ consciousness. So, someday we'll be raised in an incorruptible body, no longer able to be corrupted. But even under Christ consciousness, you can try to be corrupted. Did Satan not try to tempt Jesus? You see what I'm saying? And we're not Jesus. We're a little easier to be, you know, tempted. But the point is you get rid of sin at the cross. That's why I like to see the cross without Jesus on it. The one with Jesus on it kind of is gory to me. Okay. Transgression. See, midnight. Do you understand, right? There you go. Welcome to. Now you can see how there's a difference. Don't you see now you got a receipt? You have a receipt to show you that the rapture is about to happen. You've been freed of that sin. Quit calling yourself a sinner. Don't live under that sin consciousness. You're under the Christ consciousness. I don't have to tell you not to steal. I don't have to tell you not to kill. I don't have to tell you not to love another, create an image and call it God. You already have these. You have the commandments built in you. That was the point when Moses come out. These people had nothing to go off of. They just been let out. So he comes down with the commandments. These were really commandments. Really meant these are the characteristics. If you see them in you, you see God in you. But instead, Satan afforded to take those commandments and make them every sin under it. And so Moses, because of the people, he even took the commands far from what they were supposed to be. And not even he could enter into the promised land. Who led them into the promised land? Joshua led them into the promised land. And God loved Moses. God loved Moses a lot. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Y'all want my email? Is that what we do it? I'll give you my email. You guys can just freely have it. I, uh, I don't think there's no trolls in here. I don't really care. How do I type it up here? Uh, oh, member and super chat message. What is that? Oh, I don't even know how to. Oh, okay. Am I supposed to do that? Is these super chats or something? I don't know what to do. Maybe I don't know. But anyway, let me just tell it to you, okay? You guys want it? I'll say it out loud. I only say it once so that no creeps get it, okay? Um, okay. Here it goes. Daily oil 77 at gmail.com. Also, you can hit me up at Patriot_Pip on TikTok. Did everybody get that? That wanted it? And tinfoil, I got a little something for you when you email me, okay? I'll give you guys a little more, a better way to get a hold of me uh, through email after I see you guys and recognize who you are. I'll give you an easier way. That way we can back and forth throughout the day instead of. But let me see what my. Wonder if I don't have Facebook, but I do have Messenger. I don't do any. I don't give none of my information on it. It's just straight Messenger, so I can do the what is you FaceTime or Messenger FaceTime. So if you guys want to FaceTime me or something, we can do it through Messenger. I'll just have to look see what my name is on there. Am I still talking? Anybody still here? Did I hit a button and get rid of people by accident? Somebody say something so it moves up. That's how goofy I am, y'all. I don't. I think I hit something and got out of the. There we go. I think there you go. Everybody's back. Yeah, communicating through. So y'all send me an email and I'll give you a number that if you know I don't mind you guys have my number to text back and forth to talk about these type of things. Just know that sometimes I'm on live, sometimes I'm using my phone right now for this live. So you know, my buddy was trying to get in touch with me and I probably shunned him off. But I, I'm probably gonna I'm step over here and turn this heat down a little bit. Hey, y'all forgive me. My buddy, one of my good friends, he owns a vape shop. Uh, you know the vaping shops. Y'all know what those are, right? And he gives me all kinds of free, vapes to try and stuff like that. And I like them. I mean, it's kind of like having a cigar that tastes like some kind of candy to me. I don't know, but did y'all get my email? All right, here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again. What's the name of this show? What do we call it? What do we call this show? Besides Jay, we call it Daily Oil, right? Add 77 to that at gmail.com. Did you get that one? If I can type it in here, I will. But I don't know how to type it in here. I just tried and messed everything up. But yeah, through that end up giving you I'll give you my phone number so we can text back and forth and or messenger, and we could actually have as many people on messenger as we want. We can all pull together and have a talk like they do on Uplifted. Y'all like that sound? Sound of that? I'll get my wife to tell me what to do, and I'll hook all you guys up through my email. I'll be keeping an eye on it. That's it. 77 at gmail.com. There's no spaces in it. Mickey has my number. Mickey on here, he has my phone number, and we go back and forth a little bit on text here and there, and kind of keep. I'll let him know if I'm having a show. Uh, but I think I'd rather do Messenger because we can do the live chats and. But I don't know if you got iPhones, but uh, I have an iPhone. You know. All right, yeah, that's all. I only have Messenger for that. I don't have Facebook. I refuse to have it. I just uh, I watch too many shows where everything they figure out was through Facebook. Everything they figure out was through Facebook. I'm like, uh, does Facebook stand for FBI? Facebook Incorporated? I don't. Well, you know what? I'm hoping to be out of here before I'm big. But no, I won't forget my roots. I just won't. You guys are the roots. You know, when we start talking about cornerstones of you know where this started, who talked to me, you guys have been talking to me from the beginning. You know, Messenger's what I like, but that's an email. You send me an email, and I'll send you the right information for the other, so that we're not putting it all out here for YouTube to be able to go back over and tell all the trolls and all that. I deleted mine a decade ago too. I just have a random name on there that I use to talk to my mother-in-law. She knows to call it, and my kids know to call it. You know, if they want, they don't have if they don't have an iPhone. Otherwise, I just use FaceTime. What's up, Gerald? Had quite a church tonight. It's been awesome. Look, 34 lights up there. That's pretty good over duration. I think. A lot of people are gonna want to watch this. I hope I answer questions. I ramble a lot, but I read a question here and there. Good job, Jimster. Good night. Hold the line. Thanks. Okay. All right, Brian. Good night, buddy. Thank you. I'm glad you came, bud. And Gerald, you walked in about the moment we were all about to walk out, bud. We've been at a long session. If you look up here, but we really glad you came, and want you to come. I'm gonna have another one tomorrow evening. Okay. And tomorrow evening is what? Sunday. I know some of you probably go to church, whatever. I don't know what times or whatever, but I'll try to do it. I like to do them around 7 myself, be honest with you. I like to do it with 7, and, you know, but it did kind of work out doing it at 5 today, 5:30 or so. I was just kind of excited. I was ready to talk to y'all. You know, the video, I don't get to talk. I don't get to go back and forth with you guys. But I will be giving y'all some shouts out. And as soon as I can look, if I could remember how to go in and see my followers, I would send you guys, make you guys a part of the video, meaning that I would send at midnight/LC777 at Brian Simon 5650. But I would actually have to sit down here and write them down while you guys are talking, unless there's another way to find out. Because I do remember Jimmy, I do remember Brian and Midnight, but I won't remember all the other stuff that goes with it. Yeah. So are we excited, guys? We holding the line? We ready for Jesus? We gonna carry this week out together? Are we gonna count down together and have a great time doing so? Let's make the others jealous. They'll be jealous of what they see coming out of us. And they should be jealous seeing what's coming out of us. And I hope people like Joseph Allen join in. You know, I got to talk to him, and I met him this way. I didn't know that he was on America's Got Talent, and what's that guy's name? The bald headed one. He actually got the golden buzzer. It was amazing. He sung okay. The song he wrote was really cool. But it's his charisma. He's got a lot going on as far as he's real charismatic. Really nice guy. Yeah, Howie. I don't know if you guys saw it, but if you go look, you can see Joseph Allen singing on America's Got Talent. And that guy's full of life. You know, and he's somebody that we converse back and forth with. Yeah, I mean I'll say this: he never got back with me, but he did talk to me once, and he's been really sure of himself several times when said God gave him clarity, and I think they all play their role. He's just running to and fro like the rest of them. That's right. The King of Glory is coming in the clouds. He's about to call your name. Are you excited? Are you ready? I know you guys are ready because I'll tell you what, when he calls your name, I wonder how it's going to sound. Is it going to sound thunderous? Is he going to say, Mickey, come forth? And I mean, you're just going to peel right out of your body to be in front of him, right? That's what I'm expecting, guys. I'm expecting greatness. I'm excited too. And look, don't let nobody get you down, man. We're too close to the finish line. Just who stops a foot away from it and goes, I quit. You guys win, I quit. Not me. I'm gonna bust right through it. I'm gonna bust right through that finish line. And you know, all we got is our hopes. All we got is that our hopes and what we believe and what we know and what we feel in our spirit, and it drives us so much to be like little children and sit on here and talk for almost 3 hours, you know, and keep it consistent and be happy with it. Is this not your favorite subject? I can tell it's your favorite subject. How many of you it's your favorite subject? This is my favorite subject. You can't. I mean, I don't even call it a subject. I mean, but it is. It's my favorite. Some people like to watch football games all day. Some people like to. I like to do this. I wish that I could do this all day long. You know. And because we have to do other things and this, it makes it seem like this is tiring. No, this ain't tiring. It's the other things you got to do around with it because you want to spend your time doing this. That's what we call it, the Rapture Saints Assembly. Is that what y'all want to call it? I'm just talking about the lives that we do together. We'll call it the Rapture Saints Assembly. That's a real good name. All right, we're gonna work on that name right there. I'll put on the next live up on top for us, and we're gonna figure out how we can all get on Messenger and have a bunch of little squares where we can talk like the other guys without typing. You want to do that? And I still want to do my YouTubes. I still want to do this, but we'll have times where we can have a little more closer. Maybe we can record it for YouTube. I don't know. I'm not that tech savvy, guys, but I'll try. Okay, we are. It's just like we have many jobs. I know that I'm going to the rapture, but I'm also a servant to help others get ready and prepared. I've been knowing that. I've been knowing that, and it's something to know you're okay. All we ever want to know our whole life is why are we here? Why am I here, Lord? Why? What is my purpose? And the greatest thing ever was find out my purpose. And you guys know I've said it many times, but I showed you, I showed you by computer that I'm not making this stuff up. It's there. But you realize I never. My mom wouldn't even look at that. My mom refuses. Says she don't want to see it. They don't think that much of me. You know. So that's just the way life goes, y'all. It's all of our families. So don't worry about it. Don't let people get you down. There is a rapture, 100% rapture. And the ones that are trying to tell you, they just don't have the invitation. And you go, where in the Bible does it say about the invitation? It says it in there in the parables. But common sense says that if they don't know about it, they weren't invited. Now you can try to invite them because you have your invitation says you can have as many guests as you'd like. So that's where some people get theirs is from listening to you or somebody else. And most don't because most don't listen. It sounds like a fairy tale. Fairy tale garbage. Oh, I guess a dragon and a unicorn's going to come down and pick you up. And they just don't, come on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Some people say it looks nice, and some people say it looks like a broom. So that's when I tell you, don't let the guys get you down. And if you need a little ammo, please go look at my video. Uh, not the one I put out today, but the one I put out yesterday. I posted it with a link to it. Thank you so much. Well, guy earlier, one of the trolls asked me how much laundry detergent I eat. I don't even know what that meant. I've been working on getting it whiter. I just said I could put some lemon juice in it. But see, I'm redheaded. I'm not redheaded up here. I was blonde headed. But this was red when it came in. So what you see is the remnants of red. But I could put lemon juice in it and some purple shampoo and be just like Santa. All midnight, you're not the only one, but Midnight said my family won't have nothing to do with me. I'm all by myself alone. Welcome to the club, brother. Welcome. You're not alone. You got other people that are just like you. We're all what the family calls misfits. We're rough around the edges, you know. I'll just say it. I don't know how anybody will take it, but we're Generation X, millennials. Some millennials are a lot like Generation X, whatever. But I want to tell you something. We're the type that will teach you about Jesus and tell you all about how to get to heaven. And if you mess with us or try to do something to our families, we'll send you there faster. We are not, we will turn one cheek, but Jesus didn't say turn both cheeks. And we're not going to take it. We're not going to take all that crap. We're going to have to fight for it. Eventually, if we had to, we will fight for it. Now, I don't think that we have to go through that, but we're a different kind of group. We're much like the disciples were. They loved Jesus. They were, but they remember they will cut your ear off in a heartbeat. You know. Now I won't say we're quite that crazy, but what I'm saying is we're not going to put up with what we don't have to. If somebody gets on you in here, don't be nice to let them have it, and we'll let them have it too before I kick them out. You know, but overall, we will teach them how to get to Jesus and the rapture. It's however they want it. So we're just a little rough around the edges group. We got tattoos, long hair, beards. Uh, some of us are bald with goatees. We look. This group of Christians looks like some bikers. It's true. Look, when I try to tell my folk, man, listen. In fact, the way my dad looks at me makes me. I don't want to be around him because if I mention it, he's like, when I say Elijah, he goes just like this. If I say something about Elijah said, he'll go, hmm. Do you know how bad that hurts me? Just for if I say it, it's like I whipped him across the back. It's, mm. Or like he had a bad smell. You know, it's he just he can't believe that Elijah the prophet came and talked to his son. You know, through his, and it didn't help that the entire time. Well, I won't go through that, but like I say, guys, I love you, and we're almost at 170 minutes, so I am about to call it for real. Guys, I really appreciate the gifts you gave me tonight, the donations. I wasn't expecting it. I was, but it was definitely needed, and I appreciate it. I want you guys to know that I thank you so much. Oh yeah, Waverly, yeah, yeah, definitely. Uh, every one of our families have done it. Mickey and your family done it. We've all been. If you read these stories back to back, every one of us got the same one. Our families. That's one of the. If you watch about the chosen, if you watch about the chosen on you, that's one of the key indicators is that we're loners. Our families don't want. They don't want to hear it. You would think that that would bring you closer. When you first got it, did you not think that they were going to grab, like, love it? And they did the opposite. You're talking crazy talk, you know. You're talking hallucinations to them, you know. But anyway, guys, I love you and thank you guys so much. Everybody say bye to me. You don't think they thought Moses, boy, when think about the way Moses looked. Look at the way they looked at Jesus every time he did something. Some always said, "Oh, he was. Who is he? Oh, I think he's the Messiah." Others said, "By what power is he doing this by?" And mostly that was the higher up people. The people that believed him were the poor people that just were around like, "Ah, this guy, he's doing these amazing things." The leader said, "This guy," and their own family members and own hometown didn't believe him at all. So we're everything in there has proved true. Have you found a word in there that wasn't correct? I haven't. I believe the entire Bible. But I also do know that there's something called cherry picking or reading it down the line. And they will not read it down the line. They just, this scripture and this scripture. I get it copy and pasted on my comments all the time. It'll be this 9-page copy paste. And I read, when I realize the copy paste, I quit reading it because it's just aggravating. We've all been through our stuff midnight. We've all been through it. I haven't been. To, I haven't always been me. You know. Um, I went through it for sure. My wife's. Oh, I got to go to court. What's today? I got to go to court in 3 days. I got tickets for helping somebody move he had me move a trailer to make $50. I moved the trailer, got pulled over because he had a tire that popped. I got 2 tickets, and they're good Christian people just left me hanging. Now I got to go to court and beg this attorney, that I have no income, no way, please, please, please have mercy. That's all I can do. I'm going to do it in about 3 days. You know, I don't think I'm looking no jail time over it, but here it was. Shouldn't they pay the tickets? They gave me the thing that blew the tire. I was just doing them a favor. You also got raptured, buddy. You farted and got raptured. Isn't that awesome? Maybe that's what we all got to do. Yeah, I know. I know it. I'm just gonna go beg for mercy. That's all I can do. I was trying to help some people from down the road, and it costed me. I made a little money to lose a lot of money, I guess. That I don't have. Donald Trump is a felony at 69 years old, 38 felonies. I've never gotten any felonies, but I've been in my share of trouble when I was younger. You know, thing about it is it don't make you. There's so many felons. There's more. There's probably gonna be more. There's more felons than ain't felons. I think. Jeez, I think there is. I don't even know it has the same appeal as it used to have. It doesn't bother me a bit though, guys. You can be from whatever range, whatever, part of life, whatever. This is we all believe the same way. It doesn't matter where you come. We all. I already know that a lot of you are going through this. I can already say, I know you guys are having hard times in your families. Why? Because you're going through what I'm going through and what I've been through. It's the same. We've all been through it. We can say that if you get this gift, sometimes this gift is a lot like a curse, right? It's our burden to bear, but we'll bear it with Jesus, right? He'll be here soon, guys. He'll be here. Oh, I'm gonna say it. He's gonna be here in 7, 8 days. What is it? 7, 8 days? Doggone it. We got some cleaning up to do. I want my house to look good when he gets here. Got to get the little church cleaned up here. It'll all be okay, okay, guys? This too shall pass. You know what a non-felon is? It's somebody who hasn't got caught yet. I'm just telling you, everybody's done their dirt. Just some people didn't get caught. Everybody. There's not one good. That's why Jesus says, "Why do you call me good man? There is no good man other than God." You know, it's just the truth. It's just that some of us get wiser when we get a little older and realize doing these things do nothing but bring other things on us. And it's kind of like you reap what you sow. Good karma, bad karma. Funny how they sound alike, but anyway, guys, I love you. Jesus loves you. Hit me up on my email. If anybody miss it, anybody still need it? Everybody know got it. Just remember, my answer to if you're a non-felon, you're just somebody that didn't get caught. Some people are better at not getting caught than others. Have a good night, guys. All right. Well, good night. Love y'all. Thank you, Waverly, Jimmy, Midnight, Brian, etc. God's kid. See, I've got them in my head, guys. Linda, all of you. I really think a lot of all of you. All right. Good night, guys.